Hey everyone, it's a very, very cold day in January. We got the wood stove going nice. Very hot in this room right now. And we got all these fans which are powered by the heat. We're gonna just move this one over. Gonna go ahead, move this one over too. And that thing is nice and hot. So, in case of a power outage, we would be using this thing for cooking. I just bought this little oven, which is supposed to go on top of a wood stove. Let's go ahead and start preheating it. The bottom of it has a screen, so it can let that nice heat right on in. Okay, put that top of the wood stove. Okay, nice and flat. And let's see how long it takes to heat up. Keep the door shut. And you can open and shut the door to regulate the temperature of where you want it. But it's okay if we get up there close to 500. That'll be nice. So we're going to try cooking a few things in there today. See how it works. So I got 2 pans here. It has 2 shelves in there. These can fit in there. You can make a little pizza or something. I'm going to go ahead and quickly line those. And there we go. Nice. And I'm going to make some meatballs in there. I absolutely love baking meatballs just like this when they turn golden brown. That's nice. You can put seasoning on them. Maple syrup's also delicious. And let's put some French fries in there also. Here we go. That ice right there will evaporate. They're not freezer burned. I just made some in the upstairs oven earlier today. Okay, that hasn't started moving yet. We'll give it a little bit of time. And this thing's running nice and hot, but we can turn it up a little more too. Alright, it's been 10 minutes. What do we got? It's really not even heating up. It's not even hot enough to burn myself. This isn't exactly designed to be a cooking stove. It's scalding there. I guess we'll give it a little bit longer. Alright, it doesn't seem to be getting any hotter. This isn't exactly a cooking stove. It's not meant to be cooking things on. You can, definitely. But that thing's not heating up exactly as much as I want it to, so we're going to try revving the stove up a little bit more, because there's times we have it all the way up there. So let's try to get some more heat out of it. And we'll revisit in like 20 minutes. Smaller stuff will actually help it get hotter faster. So let's cram some of that in there. Alright, that's enough. It's already starting to catch up in there, so. Alright, we'll come back in about 20. I put those on the floor for now. Maybe it'll heat up a little more without them blowing at it. I also moved it to the middle. Temperature gauge is going up a little bit, but the temperature gauge on the actual oven ain't budging. It's now been about 20 minutes. Definitely going up. Not so much here. But I'm going to try putting the food in anyways. Inside here, yeah, I can't touch that. That'll burn me. One on the bottom will certainly burn me. That one too. So, those are a bit high. I wish there was a couple more options, but there's not. That's the only position they can be in. So, let's try cooking it. Put these French fries in there on the bottom of the oven. And put the meatballs up top. Now, in a power outage, I don't really mind. Even though it's not that hot, if it's hot enough to burn me in there, eventually it's gonna cook that stuff. Eventually it will. Might take twice as long as a regular oven, but we'll see. We'll see how that is in about an hour. What time is it now? It's 4:34 a.m. Let's try in an hour. Alright everyone, it's been exactly 1 hour now. That thing is cranking through wood. It's already reduced most of those logs I put in there down to hot coals. This is a high efficiency fireplace. When it's on high like it is now, you have to load that thing maybe once every 8 hours, because that'll stay hot for quite a while, despite it already being reduced to coals. If you turn this valve here, I usually keep it about here, That gives me about 12 hours, produces a ton of heat still. But let's say you turn it all the way down low but not off, then you have a potential of going over 24 hours without having to load it. But at that point, it's not making enough heat to heat the entire building. So the temperature here never got that high, as you can see. Not to oven temperatures, but it's still able to cook. And I think because of the position of it, it's not actually telling you what it is down inside there. Like the bottom is clearly a lot hotter. We open it up after exactly 1 hour. The French fries are definitely hot. I can burn myself on them, but they're not crispy. As far as the meatballs, they're definitely heated up all the way through, but they are not crispy. We will check in again in another hour. I built this bench a couple years ago. This thing's always entertaining to just sit in here while in front of the wood stove. I like to get on at my complete body, and it's just a balancing game. I like it. This is a really fun bench, extremely bouncy. Built that out of the old springs on my truck. So now it's been 2.5 hours, and I think it's cooked enough for me. I can definitely guarantee if this was an actual cooking stove with a much hotter surface, like to boil water, this would be doing a lot better. This will boil water, but again, it takes forever compared to an actual cooking stove. And the temperature in there, honestly, the temperature of the room is more than half of that. It's very hot in here. So we're gonna go ahead and take this out. It did crisp them up a bit, not as much as I would have liked. I could have left it in there for longer, more like 3 hours, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm done with it now. It also did turn these golden brown. So I love to go ahead and put some maple syrup on some meatballs. Just put it in there and I'll just kind of swirl them around in there. Eat that pure maple syrup. And this right here is awesome to use as French fry seasoning. It tastes really good. Let's go ahead and shake some of that on there. Really good. And that'll be my breakfast. That tastes just like sausage, so that's good to be dipping in the maple syrup. Perfect breakfast food. Let's close this up, get it off of here. Yeah, the top of it isn't even that hot. I can touch it for a good second. So it did discolor. That's what happens to stainless steel when it heats up. It did slightly discolor it. And I can pick that up with no problem too. I'm just going to put it on the concrete floor until it cools down so I don't burn the bench where it was sitting. So this stove here, go ahead and touch this. Actually cold. The wall, slightly warm. Over here, absolutely nothing. This is cold metal, cold water bottles. It's got heat shields. People like to mention this being near in microplastics. Most modern stoves have heat shields on 3 sides. It does project forward. Items over here, that wall slightly warm. The floor directly in front of it, I stand there. That actually gets uncomfortably hot. This right there actually does get uncomfortably hot, but on the sides, nothing of the sort. Now these will start spinning again in just a few moments. All by themselves, they'll start spinning once again. And I hope today's video was interesting, everyone. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.